Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, as always, to Avenger. It is the Geek and the Redneck, aka Sully JT, coming to you once again to review the latest in the Marvel Universe. Tonight, episode 5 of She-Hulk. Sit back, relax, make sure you have your adult beverage or whatever it is you want to partake in, and have some fun with the Geek and the Redneck. Sully, it's all yours.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate the warm welcome, as always. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Avenger Pretenders, where we break down an entire episode of some really cool, nerdy, geek stuff. In this case, it's She-Hulk. That's right,
Unless
She-Hulk.
you're Echo, and he's like, oh, it's so dope.
Well, I mean, you know, it's okay. He's allowed to have his own opinion of it.
Yes, he is.
That is neither here nor there. Want to say hi to Carol, Lady Death, and Toby, who are in the chat room. Guys, if you haven't watched episode 5 of She-Hulk, shame on you.
You know what was really cool?
Shame
You know what was really cool to me? A couple of weeks ago, Carol made a comment.
Uh-huh.
And I want to throw this out here real quick. Show. Carol made a comment because she's always here for, you know, the Avenger Pretender shows.
Every show.
We're doing Star Wars and all that stuff. She made a comment a couple of weeks ago where she said, I'm going to semi-quote her. It was basically something along the lines of, you know what? I don't need to get Disney Plus because I know the episode just from listening to you guys.
Aww.
Which is really cool. It means that we're doing a good job.
Maybe. I mean, you know, we just break down the whole episode, you know, just saying. But we like to crack jokes at the same time.
Yes.
So, you know.
I'd like to give you a quick synopsis. Ooh, big word for JT.
What?
What it means, I have no clue.
You had
No clue.
You had big words.
I have no idea. By the way, the sale where I got this is this weekend.
Ah.
And I am going to see if I can find one. If I can find these. If I can, try to get one. Okay.
Ah, well, that would be awesome.
Then we can both say at the same time.
We're dropping the F-bomb. That's what we're doing.
Yes, sir.
That's what we're doing. Toby says, so sad I missed your twerking commentary. Well, you know.
Hey.
It's usually how we roll, isn't it? You know?
This way, it looks like I'm twerking, but I'm really.
It's true. It's true. So
we get in twerking on a bedroom. Come on, let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. But this week's episode was titled Mean, Green, and Straight Poured Into These Jeans.
I love that line.
Toby says he's going to clip time for that later. Trust me, it's good. By all means, I'm pretty sure it's there. So anyway, want to make sure you guys are ready, buckled in, because we are going to break it down, because the episode starts off with a commercial for She-Hulk by Titania. Yes, oh yes, Titania is doing everything that she needs to in order to trademark and copyright the name of She-Hulk, because it's hers. Damn it, it's hers. And later
say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
You say titanium.
Yes.
I have always heard it as titanium.
No, it's Titania.
Okay.
I know you're going for the tit and tat, but
it's more provocative, baby. Wow. Can you tell I'm exhausted?
Maybe just a little. Just a tad bit. Well, now, mind you, this episode, it's taking place right after the last one. She had already gotten served for a lawsuit where Titania is going after the She-Hulk name, trying to sue her.
Suing She-Hulk.
Yeah, she's suing Jennifer Walters for the name, pretty much.
Yeah.
And, you know, at first, and we know this from the first couple episodes, she wanted nothing to do with She-Hulk. Nothing to do with it. And then eventually it just...
Oh, was it episode 3 that she did the news in, right?
Yeah, right after she helped Blonsky get his parole. So your daughter came in. I don't watch the shows, but decided to stop in and say hi because I'm stuck at work. Aw, I'm sorry you're stuck at work. Thank you for tuning in as always. And as JT would say, hello, kiddo. Because I say that to my kid too. Hey, kiddo, how's it going? How's it going? So,
I told her to have a drink for me. So
you know what? I agree. We should all have a drink for JT.
Have one for Sully.
Yeah, why not? Why not? So Jennifer's cousin Ched walks in. Right? Is it her cousin or brother? I think it's her cousin.
I think it's
I can't remember.
I'd have to go back and watch the first episode.
Pretty sure it's...
Hey, let me Google it, see if I can find out.
I think it's her cousin Ched. Well, he bursts through the door with all of the perfume that has She-Hulk on it, that has nothing to do with her. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm selling this stuff now. You should buy it."
Confirmed cousin.
Confirmed cousin. Boom! I was right. Yay. So from there, you know, it's basically a gets to the point where she goes down there and sees Titania disrespecting her fans and asks, you know, Jennifer if she can get a picture with her. And she, yeah, sure, absolutely. So she's doing what she needs to do. And we fast forward to her being at work, and she assures that She-Hulk is Jennifer Walters and not She-Hulk. But at the same time, all hell is pretty much going to break loose, you know?
I like the boss. You know, I'm driving into work today, and I look up, and all of a sudden I see a big old billboard promoting She-Hulk. What was it? Booty Blast?
Booty Blast, yeah. The Booty Blast.
Booty Blast 3.
and I thought it was interesting that they were doing all these cheesy names just to get the She-Hulk name, you know?
Yep.
Just to get the name. Well, at the same time, Augustus, our buddy Augustus is there, and he's asking Ramos, who is Jennifer Walters' paralegal, if he can kind of cash in on some things. And they've got a deal going on, and, you know, you never really cashed in on the other one. You still owe me this favor, so on and so forth. But he's looking to get the new release of Iron Man 3 sneakers.
And he wants her to stand in line with him
to get them
because it's only one pair.
Yeah, one pair per person, and he wants 2. One to keep, one to wear.
What did he say? One to wear, one to stare, or something like that.
Right, yeah, that's right. One to wear, one to stare. So
kind of like that line.
I mean, you know, it works. You know, one to stare, one to share. I get it. You know, it's there. So they arrive at one of the stores because they know a person. And at the same time, the favor that she asks for is, well, Jennifer needs new clothes. And she does. She needs new clothes. The suits that she's wearing are 3 times her size, mostly because when she turns into She-Hulk, she's going to rip everything. So she's wearing baggy clothes. And they know, Augustus knows the guy. Knows the guy.
He knows the guy who knows Ev.
Yes. And he's a designer. He designs all the outfits for the superheroes. And it's interesting because when they get there, they're trying to convince the guy who's at this, what is it? It's like a cafe store, right? Like a coffee shop. A barista store or something like that. Where
Bebo or something like that.
Boba Cafe. Yes, Boba Cafe. So they do the whole, no, we need this. We need this. No, we need this. And they finally go, we're not cops.
Basically, they're trying to find the Marvel version of Edna Mode.
Yes.
Do you know who Edna Mode is?
Yes, I do know who Edna Mode is. Edna Mode is the costume designer for The Incredibles and most of the superheroes that are in that world.
The
seamstress. Yes, there you go.
Yes.
Seamstress. Well, that's who they're looking for. And obviously, this guy who owns the cafe is one of those bootleggers, right. The Avengers.
Yeah.
I love that.
And the Avengers.
The Avengers. Yes, the Avengers. And your daughter says she's drinking for everyone tonight. Kudos. Cheers.
She does that every.
Cheers.
That's nothing.
Well, I mean, you're married now. You're going to be drinking more. Just saying. Just putting it out there. So as they're searching for this guy, obviously they are going to buy clothing because they really need to get an appointment with this guy who designs costumes. And
what was the final deal that was?
What was the final deal? I don't remember, to be honest.
And Avengers T-shirt and hat, because you have to have the complete ensemble.
Oh yes, that's right, the ensemble
for a introduction.
Yes.
Meeting.
And that's it. Just a consultation. Just a
That's consultation. The word, consultation.
A consultation. Well, we fast forward, and now, of course, Jennifer Walters can't represent herself because that's what she was originally going to do, was represent herself in this wonderful lawsuit that she's got against her. And she was asked to have Mallory Book, who's another lawyer in the office, represent her. Because, well, let's face it, in this type of case, you really can't represent yourself. I'm sure you could, but...
Yeah. And it was funny because I had to laugh because it originally was going to represent herself, and I had to laugh because that was the first line that you heard from her,
yes,
the lawyer, was, I'm glad that you weren't going to do the classic represent yourself kind of thing, And I was like, well,
yes.
He was.
So,
but the boss said no.
So Book lays down the groundwork, okay? Telling her that we're not coworkers, you're attorney-client now.
Right.
So in a lot of ways, this is kind of a good thing because you've got a free lawyer right now. You work for the company, you're getting sued. And who's going to pay the legal fees?
Right.
Take it out of my paycheck.
Because they filed like a massive counter for damages.
Yes.
A halt and all this other stuff. So
yes,
they had to go big. They had to go all out.
Yeah, you had to do the countersuit because otherwise all hell was going to break loose. Well, while in court, Titania's lawyers hope for a speedy trial as she owns the name. She trademarked the name She-Hulk. But her lawyer, Book, is arguing that the media calls She-Hulk the name. They're the ones that named her. And at first, she even admitted it. At first, I didn't like the name. But as it grew, it grew on her that, yeah, okay, I'm She-Hulk. And they're playing audio of her not liking the name She-Hulk and all that good stuff.
All the times that we saw where she...
Yep, all of that was just...
Yeah, all that.
Coming right back, which perfectly fine. However, Titania is using the name to sell her perfume and her hand creams and all of this other good stuff that pretty much is bad for you. They even said it's not good for you. So they play all of this stuff and that she never wanted to do it. But then book has a rebuttal of the video of her being on the news before the trademark was even initialized, stating Jennifer Walters, also known as She-Hulk, saying, well, some guy on the news just called me it and it's stuck and it's starting to grow on me. So from that point on, that's where things are going. Okay, all right, well, you know what?
Yeah, because they were trying to basically, Tanya's team was saying that she said she didn't want to.
Right.
That wasn't her name, blah, 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 everything else. But they were trying to prove that, yes, it was her name. So they showed the interview where he asked about that. Yeah. So I guess from here to the end of time, I'm known as She-Hulk.
Yes.
And that line right there killed Titania. And
sure, absolutely. Absolutely.
I caught myself. Killed their argument.
Yes. And from there, even the judge said, all right, well, you know what? I'm going to take all this evidence and I'm going to listen to it and I'm going to do my due diligence and we will pick it up tomorrow. Makes sense. Picking it up the next day, refresh brain, so on and so forth. So we fast forward to another scene where we are currently seeing Ramos and She-Hulk meeting with the designer. Oh, yes. The designer. Yes. When he sees Jennifer Walters as a shrunken down normal human being, he says, no, be gone. I don't want anything to do with you. And Ramos says, no, wait, she's an Avenger. And that's when the door unlocks. You say you're an Avenger. And there you go. Now, is she actually an Avenger? In the comics, yes. But not right now. No. Will we see her in an Avengers movie? Most definitely. But we have to wait for phase 6 for that to happen. Which means we could potentially see a lot more seasons of She-Hulk. Now, with this, Jennifer says, I don't need anything fancy. And he says, so why are you wasting my time?
I just need a suit. I mean, I'm just a lawyer.
I'm just a lawyer.
That was not a good line to say.
No.
Dude, what was his name, Ken?
Luke.
Like that?
Luke, which if you don't know who the actor is, he was actually in a show with Kaylee Cuoco called The Flight Attendant, which was a very good show on HBO Plus. Highly recommend watching the first 2 seasons. There may be a third, may not be a third. Who knows?
But by the way, HBO Plus does not sponsor Avenger Pretenders.
That's true. Cool. Neither does Disney Plus. But it'd be really cool if Disney Plus did.
Yes. We would take either and or both.
Yeah. Just putting it out there, all right? I'm just putting it out there.
This week's show is courtesy of Disney Plus. Next week's show will be sponsored by HBO Plus.
Said no one ever.
They go back and forth,
It would be cool. It would be cool, though. So Ramos decides to show Jacobson the problem with Walter's suit and told her you need to, it fits her in She-Hulk, but you need to shrink down to a human form and see the issue. And as soon as he saw the issue.
Yeah. This is the thing. My whole thing with that scene.
Yep.
That is the first time in this series that I can recall. I may be wrong, but I don't think I am.
Yep.
This is the first time in this series that they have shown the full transformation process down and back up.
Yes.
That, and I'm sorry I have to drop it. That was some fucking cool ass graphic, right? That was amazing.
Gotta love industrial light and magic.
I've been wondering since the beginning if they were going to show that. They kind of did a little bit in the first episode right after the crash.
Yes. When
she first transformed, but you couldn't really see it in the door.
No, you really
kind of see a little bit of shadow and movement, but you couldn't really see what was going on.
Yeah.
So the fact that they did this in this episode, and this is gonna sound weird, made me really freaking happy. It was cool to see that. It really was.
I mean, I can understand you being really excited about it.
I've been wanting to. I mean, even when they attacked her in the alleyway, they didn't really show it. As changed, they showed the reactions of the guys that were in front of her,
right?
And then came back to her, and she was She-Hulk. But this time, they showed the entire process both ways. And to me, that was the ultimate right
there. That was fantastic.
It was off the charts.
It was very well done, very subtle, but you saw it, and it was good.
And you tell I got excited about that.
Oh, you were very excited about it, and rightfully so. And rightfully so. I mean, think about it. It's an effect that you don't normally see.
You don't see that detailed of an effect. I can imagine that if it took 9 hours to make this episode,
yes,
7 hours were dedicated to that scene.
Yes.
I can honestly see that happening because there's just so much that has to go into that.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine how many frames in a film it would take to make that 2-second process of a change.
Yeah. Now the cool thing is, and this is where, Industrial Light and Magic comes in. Disney owns them too because they acquired that with Lucasfilm.
Right.
They have it at their disposal. And really, without Industrial Light and Magic, some of the stuff wouldn't even be possible. Some of the effects, they are the leading special effects company out there. Simple as that.
And just like Pixar used to be, top.
Which was also part of Industrial Light and Magic that was sold to Steve Jobs, which then became a part of Disney. So, look, Disney owns everything Industrial Light and Magic, Lucasfilm, everything that George Lucas did. They own it. Lucky you.
Everything that they need, really, which was very, very smart on their part.
Oh, hands down. Hands down. So we fast forward from them talking about the situation, and Jacobson asks for the stretchable fabric.
Yeah.
Stretchable fabric.
I love the look on his face. And as his hand runs down the 12-pack body man that's beside him, just the look on his face. I mean, you would think he was having an orgasm there.
Yes.
That's the only way you can describe that look.
And he flat out said he's going to need a lot of it. A lot of it. So from there, we go back to the law office and we see Todd Phelps. And he is the same exact person that Walters had a previous date with from, when she was doing her Tinder search. And they had been talking to Book because he had just signed with them as a client and everything. And they're talking about their date. And she realized that she used the name She-Hulk to create this dating profile, which also predates the trademark that she's being sued for. So that gives Book the idea of, okay, what if we brought all of these people in that you dated as She-Hulk? And
when the realization comes across,
it was like,
what it is going to mean. Because at first he's like, oh, that's my perfect defense right there. It's my proof to everything that we need. That's my case winner right there.
Oh, hands down.
Oh, shit.
Hands down.
Well, that means I am going to have to humiliate myself.
Yes. Yes, you are.
And show that don't really have a good choice. Well,
Like, no, I
um,
don't want to do
how,
this.
and that's that, that's the question in the back of her head. How badly do I want?
Yeah. Well, in a lot of ways, you kind of need to, you know, what's the word? What did the Japanese do? Pretty much sacrifice themselves on their own sword if they failed, right?
Oh, Harry Carey.
Yep, you could do that too. I was kind of going for the samurai reference, but
Yeah, God, what? Fuck,
what?
son of a bitch. The name.
Yeah,
I
I
can't think
can't
of
remember
the
the
actual name
actual.
for it.
Can't remember the actual.
Basically, it's committing suicide.
Yes, yeah,
Does she want to commit
you're dying.
not only personal suicide, but it very well could a case of professional
Yes,
suicide at the same time.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
listen.
and it's one of those things that for her, she has to do it
Mm-hmm.
in order to prove that this was the name. She has to do it, and it's interesting because you could see the look on her face that she really didn't want to do it because she didn't want to be the center of attention, and she still doesn't want to be the center of attention. You can see that conflict in her. So
Right.
the fact that she did that is one, amazing.
I was
Absolutely
actually right,
amazing.
though. It is called Harry Carey. It is also known as seppuku.
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 Gotcha.
Ppuku.
Well, from there, Arthur comes in for the hearing and confesses he wouldn't have gone on a date if it was Jennifer Walters because she wasn't She-Hulk. Only because she wasn't his type, but She-Hulk was. And after hearing all of the boyfriends or the dates, the potential boyfriends, the dates. And there was like 4 or 5 of them, right? 4 or 5 that she went on, and flat out said that, you know what, court's going to rule in Jennifer Walters' favor. She was using the name. She's got the profile to match it. And by the way, we have all this video evidence stating that she is She-Hulk. It's her name. So they reverse the decision gets in Jennifer's favor, where they have to recall every single She-Hulk product that Titania owns because it is infringement. And obviously, this isn't over. This isn't over.
What did she call her? Yeah. This isn't over, you hate her, or something like that.
Yes.
It was.
Yes, this isn't over, haters. And the other thing that happened, and I don't know if you noticed, but Titania went live on her phone when all the dates were on the stand. So she was live recording that, which technically you're not allowed to do. But she did it anyway.
Yeah, she was taking pictures in court.
Yeah, she was taking pictures in court, taking video in court. She was live streaming right from her phone. I'm surprised the judge didn't throw her out for that. But hey, you know what? It's Hollywood. What are you going to do? So at the same time, Book admits that she was impressed with Walters because she humiliated herself for the case. She never thought she would do that, but she did. And at the same time, she smiles, tells her that she thought Walters was getting new clothes, and she went, "Oh, that's right. I got to go pick up my clothes." So she goes to Jacob's place, and he gives Walters the suit and said, "Try it on. Try it on and do whatever." And then as she's trying it on. What? Go ahead.
I also made you this.
Yes, I made you this. But she had a full rack of clothing.
Yeah, there's like at least 8, 9 suits on there.
Yes.
At least.
And he said to her, you need to try this on. You need to try this on. This is something special for you. You need to try it on. And as she's changing, he starts talking about client confidentiality while carrying a box containing a special yellow helmet. Oh, yes, folks. You know what I'm talking about.
My first reaction was, oh, Sully's gonna be happy.
Oh, yes. Yes, I was. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There it is. The Daredevil helmet itself. The yellow Daredevil helmet. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And don't get me wrong. We see him in red, but we know he's coming. We know he's coming. We only have a few more episodes left where they're going to introduce him. What is it? 9 episodes, right?
8.
8 episodes? And we're at 5, yep. So there's 3 left.
Yeah.
3 left. Mwahaha. Mwahaha. Which means episode 6 is tomorrow. Which is going to be awesome. Neil is watching us. And this is all well and good. I've got no idea what you're talking about, but I'd rather watch the adventures of JT's flying cat. Reference to yesterday. So clearly, we already know that Daredevil will be in. We've seen him in the previews. We've seen him in some of the trailers. Now it's confirmed. Yes, he will be there. There is his helmet. And it looks amazing, doesn't it? You don't see much, but it does look pretty cool. It does look cool. Sammy says, hi. How's everybody doing? We're doing great. Talking about She-Hulk, episode 5. Now, of course, it wouldn't be an episode of Avenger Pretenders unless we do some Easter eggs and comic book references because, well, we kind of have to, you know? You have to. If you don't, it's, you know, it's a bummer. Clearly, Daredevil is one of them. Daredevil is one. It's very easy to see, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Very easy.
Well, and you've been hinting about, you know, you had heard rumors or whatever that Daredevil was supposed to make an appearance in the series. And yes. You've been hinting about that from show 1.
Yes.
You know. And I'm glad they drug you along for 5 freaking episodes before they finally give you what you want, because last time I wanted something to happen in the damn show. Yeah, it didn't happen until the last freaking episode.
Yeah, but at least, you know, I've been telling you it's going to happen.
Yeah, right.
You know? I mean, we know this. You know? So, right. Some of the Easter eggs that we got going on, obviously the Nikes was one of them. Right. The Iron Man 3 shoes. And by the way, this was the first episode that did not have a post-credit scene.
Yep. That's exactly what I said. This is the first time
It's first time. So we've seen other scenes before. So now you kind of have to pay attention to the credit scenes.
Because or either a mid or a post-credit.
Yeah, well, that and the credits themselves. You know, if you weren't paying attention, number one, shame on you, and number 2, you'll notice there's a lot of stuff that was probably on the cutting room floor for these, and you know, one of which, if you were paying close attention to the credits, was the fact that they had drawn out him getting the Iron Man 3 shoes. It was part of the credits. You saw it right there. You know, they're doing the comic book drawings. So they're actually using things that may have been cut.
There is one other cartoon scene.
Yep.
That I loved. I thought it was freaking hilarious. and it referred back to the boss man talking about seeing the She-Hulk be blast
Yep.
billboard on the way into work. And in the scene, in this drawing, Tim's standing there. That you can see the front of part of a table in front of him that has a couple bottles of Booty Blast.
Yep.
She-Hulk Booty Blast. He's holding a bottle with a straw, and in the other hand, he's pushing the back of his suit back and looking at Booty in the mirror.
Yes.
I saw that and almost fell out of my chair laughing.
Yeah, it was interesting, to say the least.
Neil says, the Nike Iron Man 3s, I'm quite comfy in my Skechers. Don't. Hey, Skechers are comfy as hell.
Yep. I wear Skechers. Skechers does not sponsor the show, but it'd be cool if they did. The next one, obviously, is the Avengers Assemble.
And Avengers.
The Avengers Assemble. The one thing, if you notice the shield, if you look at Captain America's shield, is the complete opposite of the original shield. So instead of where the white should be, with like the star and everything, it's all completely reversed.
And what were the two things that he grabbed?
It was Thor's hammer.
Yep.
That was one of them. And the other was it one of the hats? Or was it?
It was the shield and the hammer.
Shield and the hammer. That's right. You saw him wearing the hat. You did see him wearing the hat.
Somebody by the name of Flaming Shrapnel has joined us in the chat room and says,
up,
quote,
man?
That's a funky looking shield. Yes, it is.
It really is. And like I said, this is from She-Hulk episode 5. So
yep.
the Avengers Assemble, it's basically making fun of all the bootleggers that are out there. Like, hey, to be honest, and this is just my thought, doesn't that remind you of Spaceballs?
Yeah. Yeah, especially the boxer shorts that are hanging the door there.
Merchandising. Spaceballs the breakfast
cereal. You
cereal.
gotta merchandise.
Spaceballs the t-shirt. Spaceballs the flamethrower.
Flaming Shrapnel says, it totally does. I agree, it does.
It reminds you of Spaceballs. It fit perfectly for that. And if you think about it...
All he needs is the oversized Darth Vader helmet.
Well, that's where the reverse Captain America shield comes in. So I thought that was a good one.
Tammy says to fast forward.
Prepare to fast forward, sir. Oh, man. It's awesome. Obviously, there's also references to Doctor Strange. Because during the trial, during the hearing, anyway, they mentioned Tony Stark. They mentioned Doctor Strange and all these people who use their real names.
It was during the prep, though, because it was her lawyer saying, well, why didn't you copyright your name?
Yeah. Well, did Doctor Strange have to use his?
Doctor Strange didn't have to. Thor didn't have to,
Right.
Well, you just brought out two people who that's their real.
Exactly. That's their real
She's
name.
like, oh
yeah. I forgot. There's also a reference to Shrek in there as well.
Flaming Shrapnel says to make him look like a bobblehead with a helmet.
Oh, there you go.
That works.
That works too. It does. That works too. Clearly, Luke is, the super designer. He is actually a character from the comics. Superheroes get their costumes from somewhere. The dates, the recurring of the dates, obviously, that's not really an Easter egg, but it really shows Jennifer's identity issues between herself and She-Hulk. It's at the point where she's got to grasp that she's not a normal person anymore. She's got this strength. She's got the speed. She's got the the muscle, you name it. She's got the looks of a Hulk. So now she has to get to the point of branching out and bringing it in and making the She-Hulk a part of her life because of this. And then, of course, Daredevil. We got Daredevil's helmet, which, yay! Everybody loves Daredevil. I'll show it again. There it is. It's Daredevil. We know he's coming, and that's going to be a long one. When it's time for us to do Daredevil Born Again on Avenger Pretenders, it's going to be 18 episodes.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be long. 18 episodes. So we're going to brace ourselves because it's going to be a wild ride. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be a long one.
It really is. It's going to be long and it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. Lady Death just said, holy shit, it's true. 18 episodes. But the cool thing is we've got Vincent D'Onofrio and Matthew Cox reprising their roles. So if you didn't watch Hawkeye, you better watch it now because Wilson Fisk is in it, which means we know he's not dead. Nobody stays dead in comic books. Just putting it out there. Nobody. So it'll be interesting to say the least of what happens. So with that being said,
your turn first.
It's my turn first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's my turn. You're right. It is my turn first. With this particular episode, obviously, we didn't see a lot of beatdowns, which is perfectly fine because, lawyer show, which they tend to do. Again, fourth wall breaks were very subtle. They were very good. I love that they did that. I'm still loving that they did that. They're keeping true to the comic, which is amazing. The cinematography of it, also amazing. And the subtle hints in the background, those are the ones that even JT is starting to keep an eye out for because you never know what you're going to see and what it's going to tie to. I'm surprised we haven't seen a Rogers the Musical billboard yet because that would be a great tie-in to Hawkeye.
Well, we still got 3 episodes to go.
That's the thing. We still got 3 episodes, so you never know. So it's there. Yeah, it's there. We have not seen the Hulk again. We might. I don't know. We'll see.
I've been wondering about that.
Well, we know he's at least headed to Sakaar. So
yeah, we haven't seen him since episode 3.
No, we haven't. We haven't seen him since episode 3, so it'll be interesting. Lady Death says she still needs to catch up on that one. Yeah, you need to finish Hawkeye. It's probably one of the best that we've done so far.
Kind of vital.
So for this episode, bringing it back to being more about a lawyer show, I'm going to give it a 4.5. I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they showed her identity crisis that she's having and the fact that she sacrificed herself to get what she needed to get proves what type of character she really is. It really does. It proves to not just her, but to her associates, her coworkers, anybody that's around her in her life. It goes to show exactly what she will do as not just a lawyer, but as a superhero. She's got no problem sacrificing herself to do what needs to be done because it's right. So 4.5. I'm giving it a 4.5. What about you, my friend?
Man, I tell you, this was a hard episode. This was a hard episode. This has been the best episode by far of the 5 that we. No ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Oh.
I try and argue with me all you want, and it ain't gonna work. the storyline, the fourth wall. I've been vamping about the fourth wall this entire show.
You've been praising it.
And how classy they do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I love it. And what I really liked is the way that they were doing it in this episode. It wasn't a big cutout. It wasn't a big production. It was just a quick, you know, she looks at the camera real quick, makes a quick comment, and goes right back into character.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that they actually showed some real lawyering,
Yes.
I guess you could say, you know, because they do. They have to bring it back to the fact that, yeah, this is actually a lawyer's show, but it's not. You know, so they were able to pull that back in more than they have in really any of the other episodes.
Yep.
Meeting the seamster. Is that what you would call him? A male seamster?
Costume designer.
There you go. The designer.
The designer.
And his reactions and one of the things I liked during the scene where she was trying on the clothes after he handed her the special item, as he's walking away, you hear, ooh.
I like this.
It's like, ooh.
This
no
feels
words, just
good.
Ooh. And he just kind of grins. Keeps walking.
Yeah, like that side grin. I loved the side grin. It was one of those like
it's a little sitting grin is what it was.
Like, yeah, that's right. That's what I'm talking about, you know.
But the biggest thing for me about this, I mean, and there's also the cartoon panel that I talked about. I saw that and I laughed my ass off.
Yep.
With the boss sucking down a can glass. The ultimate part of this episode, which puts it where it's going to put it,
sure,
was the transformation scene. I vamped on it earlier because it is the most detailed, most specific, most revealing transformation that we have ever seen.
Right. Mostly because, and just to back you up on it, the first episode, she was in court. But you didn't
and all you saw was her feet.
Yeah, you didn't see, all you saw was the feet and her shoulder ripping. And that was it. This was more of, okay, I'm Jennifer Walters now. Now I'm She-Hulk. And it went back and forth. So I'll back you up on that one 100%.
I mean, if you think about it, even the Hulk transformations from all the TV shows and all the movies and everything else, they never went into this kind of detail with it, where you saw, without a cutaway, saw the entire transformation. And then the entire transformation back into because of that scene. Because of that scene and that scene alone, I am giving this a 4.9.
Whoa!
If it was not for that scene, it would have been a 4.5.
A 4.9. Yes. Holy crap.
Can't give a 5. Well, I won't say I can't give a 5 because I've given one 5. But that scene put it that close to being a 5.
That's pretty good.
Nakia was going to stay out of doing her ratings, but Sammy
her arm.
kind of goaded her into it and giving it a 4.5.
No, I goaded her into it. Not
was that you? Oh yeah, it was. Sorry. I see red at Sammy because you don't comment, Karen.
It's very rare I do. Mostly because I can do it on the mic.
Yeah, I mean, that transformation, how you only gave the episode a 4.5, I don't know, but you're a lot more used to that kind of thing, so it doesn't affect you like it did me.
It really doesn't.
But seeing that, I mean, just as from a director's point, from a writer's point, I would think that would push it up for you.
Well, the
for
only
them to
reason,
go into that detail that they.
Yeah, the only reason why it didn't for me is because you have seen a transition like that when she was practicing with Bruce. They were meditating, and you see her turn into She-Hulk, and then back into regular form. And
I would say that one was maybe about half of what it was in this episode.
well, yeah, and the reason being, and this is where, like I said, I'm backing up fully on this, is because it was more revealing.
Yeah.
From a character standpoint.
I mean, how they did that transformation, I don't know.
Oh,
I cannot fathom in my head what it took for them to be able to do that transformation.
A lot of CGI and a lot of stop motion. A lot of motion capture and morphing and all of that.
Exactly. I mean, watching her face change.
Well, yeah.
You know, going down to Jen and that being the small little pixie, like, and growing back up into the Hulk and the face. It was. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm geeking out on that one part because it was one of the most amazing I've ever seen, other than some of the scenes in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Well, the other thing that you got to remember when it comes to this, and like I said, this is more of a revealing episode. It is. It's more of a revealing episode from not just the dates that she had from the previous episode that tied into this lawsuit and everything.
Right.
Her sacrificing her reputation, pretty much, her character, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then showing somebody else that she doesn't even know the full transformation of, okay, I'm She-Hulk. Okay, now I'm just a regular human being.
Personal.
It was a very, very personal episode.
The only thing that would come close in this series so far would have been when Abomination did. But even then, they didn't show as much.
Well,
they didn't show anywhere near as much.
They showed him transforming.
Yeah, but it was like that. There wasn't. You didn't see. All you saw was him go.
Yep, pretty much.
And he was Abomination.
Pretty much.
But with Jen, She-Hulk, it was a lot more detailed in what they did. It was like slowly dropping the blind and then slowly opening.
Yeah, and again,
with that one,
it's more of a revealing type of episode of
big time. And that's why I gave it the rating I did, because for me, that was beyond.
Good example would be having that dream of being naked in either class or at work or on stage in front of everybody. That's basically what they were doing with this episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
Only you were wide awake and it's actually happening.
and you hear somebody on the side of the stage screaming at you, "Hey, dumbass, you're supposed to picture them naked, not you."
Right, exactly. So I'm
looking forward to episodes. Really, I want to see where they're going.
Well, that's the thing. You're looking forward to the episodes to see what's going to happen next. You really are. I'm going to say it. It was very well written, very well done. A lot better than Moon Knight has been. And don't get me wrong, I liked Moon Knight, but
the storyline here is 1,000 times better than.
Yeah, it's forgettable. And to be honest, I think this will be another series where you'll be able to bring in more superheroes. Number one.
This is definitely one that they can carry on into 2 or 3.
You could do multiple seasons of it. I mean, we're already getting a season 2 of Loki, which will be coming out next year. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to do a season 2 of She-Hulk. I really don't. I don't see why.
Season 2, season 3. I mean, if you keep the same people in your storyline that you're running, it can lead to so many things. So I could easily see Moon Knight, for me, really hard to translate that into a season.
Yeah.
Or an almost impossible.
Right. I mean, She-Hulk,
the way they're doing She-Hulk is lending it right into that.
Yeah. And you could potentially have more seasons, but you're not gonna. I mean, really, if you think about it, all these characters that they're introducing right now will most likely be in the new Avenger movies in Phase 6. So,
well, and I was gonna say, I could see them translating the series to a She-Hulk movie.
Sure, absolutely,
with her as the main character.
Listen,
I mean, I could I could see that without it.
I will be the first one to tell you there should be absolutely no issues doing these shows. You have the source material to do it.
Yeah, and the nice thing with She-Hulk, I mean, with some of these, you know, like Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Yep,
and things like that, you're so pinholed
yes,
on what you can do. But I think that's the thing that I like about She-Hulk is accessibility and the availability of multiple storylines going forward.
yes,
You know,
absolutely.
the way that they're doing this with the fourth wall and with the storyline and everything, it just lends itself to
It's
that.
so pretty.
And really, none of the other ones have, other than Mandalorian.
It's so pretty, isn't it? Isn't it wonderful?
I will say that I am enjoying this show more than just about every other one.
And
other than Mandalorian, it's like close to being tied with Mandalorian. So,
and
just
rightfully
saying.
So. Just saying, just putting it out there, rightfully so. Well,
for those who don't know, Andor came out today.
Yes, first 3 episodes. Oh.
3-episode premiere. Haven't watched it yet.
We're going to be a little behind on this one.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Mostly because 3 episodes. I don't know how long they are. I haven't watched them yet. I'll be watching the first episode probably tonight. I'm sure it's going to be something that we're going to have to
how long are the
rewatch before we go with it. But
40 to 45 minutes on average.
Okay, so also known as a full show, a full podcast.
Episode.
So
minus the commercial.
Yeah, so we're not going to do Andor right away. We're going to finish She-Hulk first, then jump into Andor. So watch it. Watch it. You got plenty of time. I can tell you that Dennis already messaged me. For those that don't know Dennis, he's Western Echo in our chat room. He has already seen all 3 episodes, and he says this is by far going to be his favorite series, which means
now that's interesting because he really enjoyed Book of Boba Fett.
And The Mandalorian.
The was it Mandalorian or Boba Fett that he sat in?
Boba Fett.
Okay, and he really enjoyed that. I know he doesn't like Mandalorian. I don't know why he doesn't. I don't know, but
no, that's
for him to say that about anything.
Yeah,
is big.
It's very big.
It'd be interesting to see.
So it is there, but watch it. Watch it. We can talk about it. You know what? For those that aren't in our chat, starting Friday, I will post something in our Avenger Pretenders channel so we can talk about Andor. And that way we can include it as part of the podcast, which will be fantastic. So with that being said, new episode of She-Hulk comes out tomorrow. We will be back Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Avenger Pretenders, and then Tuesday for the Sully Show. So make sure you mark your calendars. The schedule is up. It's on Twitch. It's there. Mark your calendars, put it on your phones, share it on your Facebook, your Twitter, your TikToks, whatever. We're everywhere, and have some fun with us each and every week. For JT and myself, you have been watching Avenger Pretenders. We will see you guys next time. Have a great night.
Or as Arnie likes to say, hasta la vista, babe.
Baby. Yes.
It's not a tumor. 3 yeah, Flaming Shrapnel is great meeting you. Hopefully see you again sometime soon.
Absolutely. Stick around. We're going to do a raid. Stick around. We're going to raid. Let's see who's live. Go do a raid. raid. There we go. Let's see. Who do we got? Go for someone small. That didn't sound right, did it?
I'm just going to let that one go.
Just gonna, put it out there. We're gonna raid Tia Laughs. Tia Laughs. That's who we're gonna raid tonight. Go over to her channel. Use the Accidental Punch logos with the wonderful Punchers Unite. Make sure you copy and paste. It'll be awesome. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.